Alright, folks, it's Nightmare once again, and you already know the rest. Um, I wanted to bring to you uh, my deck profile for the PPG tour event over the weekend over in Kissimmee. Um, just to start, for a guy who does not play in really any local tournaments, my record kind of reflected that, which was 3-5. I don't have a problem with that. I made some critical mistakes early on that I didn't make towards the end. Um, that and the fact that playing three Sky Striker match, playing three Sky Strikers, round two, round five, and round eight didn't help the situation. And to be perfectly honest with you, I just wanted to see how I would do with absolutely no actual hard practice. And like I said, my record reflects that, which is X5. The my matchups were round one was Altergeist to Odin. Round two was Sky Strikers, got 2-0'd. Round three was Anti-Meta, got 2-0'd. Round four was Buster Blader, 2-0'd him. Actually, no, take that back. Actually, I'm wrong. Because, my fault. Sky Strikers was round six. Because I won rounds 4 and 5. And that was Buster Blader and True Draco. I won rounds 1, 4, and 5, and then I lost everything else. 4 was Buster Blader, 5 was True Draco, which was my only 2-1 match in the entire tournament. Everything else was either I 2-0'd or I got 2-0'd. I got 2-0'd against Border Control Anti-Meta. That gave me such a damn headache. Such a damned headache. Oh my god. I didn't play a single salad. I didn't play any Orchist. I played Pendulum in round 6, got 2-0'd, and that was my shortest round all tournament. Actually, no, my fault. That was 7, because 8 was Sky Striker. Actually, that Sky Striker guy I actually had no problems with. Even though we damn near went to time, and almost all of my matches went to time except for the Pendulum Magician, the Endymion Zephyra Guard Dragon deck. That was the shortest match to date in the tournament. That lasted all of about 15 minutes for both rounds combined. Everything else went 34 to 39 minutes. My longest match was actually was round 2, the first Sky Striker match. That went down to about a minute left in the round, and then I just said, you know what, you got it, because literally it was nothing I could have done to get my board big enough to run over everything he had on field. So I took the loss on that one. But enough talking about how it went. Like I said on Facebook, I ended up meeting someone who actually saw the previous deck profile for the zombie deck. This one is a lot similar to that one. I did take some things out, shuffle some things around, but for the most part it is going to be almost exactly the same, and I do have a side deck for it. So let's get started. Triple ash forehead. It's kind of obvious at this point. Double Doom King Balladrock, double Globe Bloom, double Ghost Bell. I'm gonna stick to it, and I'm sticking to my guns on it. I'm gonna run my triple Mizukis to the death of me. That actually wasn't the death of me. Double Necro World Banshee. And then the most obvious one of all, triple Solitaire. And triple Unizombie. Those two are going to always end up being 3. Those actually, if you run the zombie deck with anything other than 3, your deck will not be consistent on Solitaire and Unizombie. The double Globe Bloom, the double Balladrock, and the double Banshee works perfectly. I don't run Terraforming. That still stayed constant with this one from the previous build. The triple Ash double Bell, that worked out perfectly for me. I would not change that for the world. Now onto the spells. One Book of Life, one Burial, one Foolish, double Instant Fusion, Monster Reborn, 1-for-1, triple Extravagance, Raigeki. I'm sticking with the double, only running 2 copies of Super Poly. That actually, like I said, it works for me more so than anything else, so I'm going to stick with it. If I find a reason to change it later and bump it to 3, I'll bump it to 3, but I saw it enough times to where I could do what I need to do, so it didn't particularly matter. Hell, there was times where I had 2 of them in hand, so I discarded Super Poly for Super Poly. It's quite funny. Upstart Goblin, and then triple Zombie World. I think I cut World Legacy Succession, 2 Book of Lives, and just random test hands. I ended up coming across way too many resurrection spells, so I had to cut something. I cut those. I think at one time I was running 3 burials in this deck. Oh god. That would have ended up horribly. I probably might switch something out and add another burial, because there were times where I needed to see burial a few more times to actually do things. And then the traps. The triple Crackdown, and then the triple Rivalry. Like Isaiah said in the deck profile that we did on Saturday, after it was everything all said and done, you gotta be play unfair in order to do anything in this game now. So doing the Zombie World Rivalry lock is probably the best route to go with this deck. So I'm probably gonna stick with the way I have this built right now. If I tweak anything, probably a few less spells, a few more traps. My monster count is exactly where I need it to be. Might switch ratios around. That's about it. Let's move on to the extra. Actually, let's do the side deck first. So, double Super Meteor Rock. Actually, no. I take that back. and I'm not gonna edit it out. That was a mess up on my end. Let's go. Let's do the extra deck first. So, biggest difference is only two Draco Negros, Starving Villain, and then the two instant fusion targets. And then you guys notice the difference from my deck to Isaiah's. He stated it in there. He doesn't run Savior. I max out on that bastard. And like I said in that video, it's because at that point, I always have at least one zombie link target in my extra deck. If I when I do after I doing Pot of Extravagance. Only one time, and that was in game 1, did I end up banishing all of them. And that was just because it was poor. I forgot to shuffle the extra deck to actually make it fully random, and literally just pick the first 6. So, if you know what the first 6 really, skipping, actually no, it shuffled enough, but I think I had the link sitting first instead of the fusions, so I ended up banishing all 3 saviors, both suckers, and then the BLS. And also I bore sword, which I never summoned. I summoned the BLS link. The BLS came in handy against strikers in my first striker match, which was round 2, because until he managed to clear basically crash into take one of my monsters and then crash into it, that was when he ended up winning the duel pretty much. Link Rebo, Lambda, and then the 2 suckers. And then the only synchro that I run is Red Eye Zombie Necro Dragon, which got me the win in the Altergeist match, which was hilarious. Alright, so going back into the side deck, stated previously, it's double Meteor Rock. Never sided him in. The 3rd Drago Necro, Apollosa, and then double Called By and double Twin Twisters, triple Imperm, double Judgment, and double Strike. I mean, like I said, a lot of it wasn't to go in and try to win. It wasn't to go in and try to, mess with everybody. It was just to try to play and, try to get back into the swing of things. I had fun. Had a lot of fun. Meeting Isaiah was probably one of the best moments at the tournament, because him and his dad recognized me just off of the mat that I usually use that I used in that tournament, because I used that mat in the last zombie deck profile, which was the Zombie Dragon mat, which it's kind of obvious. So them noticing who I was just off of the mat, and then when we started talking, they realized who I was, and it was just really funny. And the fact that my video, that zombie deck profile video, which literally only had come out Friday. It uploaded Friday to the channel. Was like the third thing in his view history, which was hilarious. Meaning that he literally had watched it just recently. And like I said on my Facebook post, I was truly humbled by the fact that he actually even knew who I was. Him and his dad both. They were going to get ready to leave, and then we sat down and literally started talking for about 45 minutes after the fact for the Yu-Gi-Oh! Part of the tournament was already over for the night. So, and then we shot the deck profile for his version of the zombie deck, and I actually do like a lot of things that he did in it. I still don't. I might run the Fry line, which means I might bump Mizuki down to 2. But I don't think I will. If I do that, I might just add her in. And I think that'll put me back up to like 42, 43. Which is fine with me. I don't really run exactly 40 card decks. And most people who know me, I don't really run a lot of 40 card on the dot because 40 actually ends up being a really bad number for me. The extra deck, I may switch something out for Shiranui's Shogun Saga and Sun Saga, because that just really funny. I might, and then I may end up putting something out and pulling something out and put Douglas in there, just because I saw how it was working for Isaiah. But let me know what you think. If you play zombies, let me know what ideas you would have to change the deck for the better. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. This has been Nightmare, Twisted Nightmare Gaming, signing off.